Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. The past week was characterized by snow here in town and big political stories at the state and federal levels. And we tackled all of them during our discussions on our daily talk show, Barnstable This Morning. Governor Deval Patrick this week unveiled his fiscal year 2012 budget proposal, which contains $570 million in spending cuts, the largest reduction in 20 years. The governor talked about some of the key features of his proposal at last weekend's Massachusetts Municipal Association annual meeting in Boston, and town manager John Klim was there to take in the news firsthand. On Monday, January 24th, the manager shared with us his thoughts on the governor's proposal, which includes a 7% cut to local aid.
Well, it's obvious that the state continues to face financial challenges, and that the governor probably was unlikely to continue protecting local aid since it is such a large percentage of the state budget. And so he spoke on Friday morning before a very large crowd, and he was very upbeat in terms of his desire to continue to partner with communities, but there certainly was some realism in his speech. At the end of the speech, I had an opportunity over the weekend to discuss the matter with Mark Milne. We had projected up to a 10% reduction in local aid. Obviously, the devil is in the details, not only in the governor's budget that he will be presenting this coming week, but obviously the months and months of legislative discussion and debate as well. So we're far from knowing exactly what the state will conclude on the area of local aid, but it is clear that while Chapter 70 is going up, which really reflects the fact that they needed to fill the gap because in years prior we received federal ARA money.
Yes.
That local aid is going down. As I said, the devil's in the details, so we're going to have to continue to work with our legislative delegation. And we're going to continue to use a projection of 10% reduction for budgetary purposes.
So you think there might be an additional cut coming that hasn't been spoken about yet?
Well, it's not only the total cut, it's how it is configured. The legislative process allows from time to time a change in formula or a change in perspective, and so it isn't just a dollar cut, it is how that cut is implemented, and we have no idea what the legislature's intent is in that regard, and so we still feel comfortable with the 10% cut projection that we have in the budget.
It's crunch time for prospective college students of all ages looking to begin or continue their studies in the fall of 2011. The time is now to fill out the crucial free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA form. The FAFSA can be confusing to complete, and with that in mind, Cape Cod Community College is making the process a little easier on FAFSA Day, which is this Sunday. 4C's Communications Director Michael Gross gave us all the details on Monday's edition of BTM.
The FAFSA is incredibly intimidating for some. It's paperwork that you have to fill out that essentially puts your financial life all in black and white.
Yep.
And it is, the good news is that literally this coming Sunday at 2 o'clock in our Grossman Commons building, there will be people there, professional staff members in the financial aid area, to walk you through page by page, item by item. People literally can bring, and we hope they will, bring all of their paperwork with them. And the simplest place to find out what you need is at FAFSA.org.
Okay.
FAFSA.org on the net. And the short version is bring the same data that you would use to fill out your taxes. If you don't have all the information for 2010, fine, bring 2009s. But bring that information, and it is critically important. We tend to push this for high school seniors and parents who are going to be filling out that very first one, because the first time through does, like the first time doing your taxes, does seem to be intimidating.
Yep.
But at the same time, we have a lot of returning adults who are eligible, by the way, for financial aid. This is also one of the frustrations the college has, is that we have over $4.5 million that we hand out every year, and we almost have to beg people to take it, because it's astonishing to us that people always have some excuse for not filling out the form or not applying, or they think they don't deserve it, or the excuses are incredible. But my director of financial aid, Sherry Anderson, will have a number of people from all over the state. And by the way, the most important thing about next Sunday is that this isn't only for those who might want to come to 4Cs.
No.
This is anyone who wants the financial aid information to go to college.
That's right.
Filling out the FAFSA. And it's very, very important.
On the national political scene, the big story of the week was President Barack Obama's State of the Union address. On a snowy Thursday, January 27th, State Representative Demetrius Atsalis gave us his analysis of the speech and talked about how the president's theme of winning the future can be accomplished here in Massachusetts.
Well, I thought the president did a good job. He obviously is moving to the middle, something that he has to do. The country is obviously clamoring for change. They want to see a different direction, and he's being very astute and doing something that President Clinton did, and he has some good ideas. Had a good theme, and the people seem to respond. The polls were pretty favorable about the president's speech.
Now, I wanted to ask you about the president's theme and how it applies here in Massachusetts. I'm pretty sure of the theme of the speech because it was a phrase that kept being repeated throughout it was how to win the future, winning the future. And, of course, the president gave a number of ideas as to how the nation can do that. But how do you think that we can do that here in Massachusetts?
Well, in Massachusetts, we've taken great strides. And we always put out a balanced budget, at least we have in the last, I believe, 8 or 9 years, in a budget that's on time. We have to do it here, but the government is going to cut jobs, anywhere between 900 and 1,000 jobs.
Yeah.
Those are real jobs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's just going to add to our problems, but something that has to occur. Talking about lowering business taxes and hoping that money those companies are saving, that they'll reinvest back into the business. And those are some of the things that has to happen to get the economy to continue to go in the right direction. I'll be interested in what we, the House, and then what the Senate comes out with. But I believe we're all going to be on the same page, working towards the same goal. We might take different paths to get there, but in the end, there'll be a compromise. We'll get things done.
On Friday, January 28th, we welcomed Barnstable High School Principal Pat Clark to BTM. Mr. Clark gave us the rundown of a number of events featuring student musical and dramatic groups. It sparked a conversation about the uncommonly large variety of clubs and programs that the school offers to students who are looking to tap into their creativity. Here's what Mr. Clark had to say about the extracurricular offerings at BHS.
One person who has the real national pulse, his name is Stan Davis, and he is a guru on school culture, and he has written a book that's a national bestseller called Schools Where Everybody Belongs. And we have contracted with Stan to come in to work talking about culture, talking about our anti-bullying program. And in a meeting here in Hyannis just last month, he said, of all the high schools that I deal with all throughout the nation, Barnstable High School provides the greatest opportunity for students to get involved. And when people's jaws dropped and said, really? Because this person is all over the country looking at dozens and dozens and dozens of schools. It was really flattering for someone to give us that high a compliment. I think what we have to do is make the programs that are the arts, the music, the drama, the student leadership, the athletics, all of those things that round out the high school experience. We need to make those things budget priorities. We need to make them faculty priorities. And we need to make sure that the whole community knows they're not just nice extras. These are the things that are the passions of students. And when you look at what we do with our award-winning music program, our fine arts, our dramatic arts performance programs, they really are some of the jewels of our community. So we value them. We financially support them. We ask the community to help us support them. And then we have, professional quality theater and music being put out by teenagers. It really is awesome.
Remember, if you'd like to see any of these interviews in their entirety, every episode of Barnstable This Morning is available to watch online. You can find them in the town's video archives at town.barnstable.ma.us. Well, that's all for now. Everybody have a great weekend. I'm Nick Cortez, and we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.